Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated returning once again with the depraved tales of the sinner, Flann Sinna II. He's now down to the lowest possible level of devotion. After... I can't even remember why, but two things happened in the last episode. Probably affairs, and probably affairs. Probably the fact that we were unfaithful. I don't know. At this stage, Flan Cinna is too drunk and eating too much. He's just full of too much food to bother with things like that. I just remembered that in the last episode, Flan Cinna slept with his mother-in-law and she ate food off of his body. God, that was a weird episode. If you've decided to stick with the series after that, I don't know what that says about you as a person. Flan Cinna suffered a substantial defeat in the last episode in... I was going to say West Riding. No, it wasn't West Riding. It was West Francia. We joined a war to try and assist Savoy in spreading insular Christianity to this county, and it failed miserably when these guys decided to land 10,000 troops and cause a lot of trouble for us. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that every Irish ruler has done when things have gone bad for them. We're going to try to figure out how to do this, because it has actually been a while since I've done it. Raise all here and set them to raiding. And we're going to go on a bit of a raid. I invited somebody to our court a couple of seconds ago, and Flan Cinna is now overwhelmed by stress, so as soon as I impose the game, we might get some pop-ups with that. So I've split the armies and started moving them south. We're going to take this area that has split off from, but is still allied to Sweden, and then we're going to move south into England. The first thing we'll deal with is poor old Liachnaun, our elder brother. His stewardship has dropped to 7, to being poor, because he's reclusive. Now, we don't have a lot of people that we can replace him with. Our High Chief Coning is already our Marshal. I think we'll leave him there, so we can assign one of our Knights to be our new steward. He's a 10. Again, it's not great, but it's the best of what we got at the moment, and we don't have any actual... Cucarcamur is the next best of our actual... people demanding. Oh my god, remember when Cucarcamur used to be our friend? I just remembered he stopped being our friend in the last episode as well. The greatest... Name a greater duo than Flan Sinna II and Cucarcamur. Try, I bet you can't. And one of the reasons that we're attacking England, or not attacking England, but going to move down and raid some places, is because it's under new administration and we want to pay our respects. Here is Queen Margarita, and you will see that she is of the House of Acre. Her mother was previously, I think she was the Queen, or would be the High Chiefess of Wessex, or the Queen of Wessex. She is the aunt, well, I should say that her husband is the uncle of our two wives. Our former wife, I can't remember now. At least Asta and Astrid. Anyway, this has just gotten... Flan Cinna's obsession with House Acre has just gotten out of hand at this stage. I can't even figure out what all the relationships are. But this guy, Emmond, is Astrid and Asta's uncle. So this is their cousin, who's now the Queen of England. Speaking of House Acre and our wives, sisters Astrid and Asta. Astrid is the sister that we married first of all, and then we married Asta. Asta was married to our uncle, Arcaid. Then when he died, we married her, and she has given us a son, Crundmoel, or Crundmole. It's a good Irish name. We'll go with that. And Flan Cinna, let's see how many kids Flan Cinna is up to now. It's saying... oh, it's 21. It's 21. We're catching up. I think this is episode 28. So come on, Flan Cinna, just another 7 kids, and you're going to go ahead of the episode totals. 1 kid per episode. And another reason why we're attacking England is something seems to be going on. The Pope is in Derby. Is the actual Pope in Derby? He's not. That would have been great if the actual Pope was in Derby. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on there. There's a couple of wars going on. So while the place is suffering a bit of anarchy, we're going to make things worse. And again, speaking of the Acra sisters, we're about to move down and attack their former holdings. Astrid ruled West Riding. Asta ruled East Riding. I can't even remember these places anymore, but they're about to, or we're about to attack them. Something's popped up with Glod. Now, she was threatening to leave our court there a couple of seconds ago. So let's see what's going on here. Like I said, Glod was threatening to leave our court. It popped up that she had no reason to stay, and that she was threatening to leave. She's had a child with one of our knights. I'm not too sure has he resigned or not as a knight, but the child has inherited the robust trait and could very well become a knight for us in future if he stays in court. We're suspicious of her. She's skulking around, giving me odd looks, and things are missing from my chamber. So we could say, no, we're just being paranoid. Gain 158 stress. That's not what's going to happen. We could ask her where she's going, but we've only a 40% chance of success, so we will look into this immediately. So just very quickly, on a totally unrelated note, here's our Archbishop, Onvra. Of course, again, look at this, minus 33. He really hates us because we're an adulterer. So yeah, he's not endorsing us. Anyway, we got this pop-up that's totally unrelated. During my investigation, I have uncovered irrefutable proof of Glod's guilt. She has intimate relations with Onvra. You divil. That sneaky doxy. What? This information will surely prove useful. I knew it. So, we learn of Glod's lover secret. Do we learn of Onvra's secret? Can we do something to him now? Apparently we can. Let's see if we can. Let's blackmail him. God damn him anyway. He won't endorse me. And he's having an affair with my daughter. God damn you anyway. In the midst of all that, we arrive in what is now northern England, due to Cúchar Moor shoving down and taking Cumberland and Durham from other people. There are a couple of random armies wandering around the place. We're going to try and avoid them. Speaking of Durham, for a second I was trying to figure out who the hell this is. This, of course, is the son. He's now chieftain. Well, look at that. His father, Erikr, has died. Damn it. Erikr, of course, is the guy who took our son Otar prisoner many sessions ago. He was our illegitimate child with Astrid long before we married her. Took the child prisoner, didn't release him, and he died of malnutrition. I think it was in the last session or the one beforehand. I can't remember anymore. And we decided that we were going to take this guy hostage. We were going to abduct him and probably do terrible things to him. Is there any point now when Erikr won't see it come to fruition? Let's destroy his house anyway. Soon he will be at my mercy. We're going to lose 20 gold, and we have an 85% chance that as he is travelling between Durham and Northumberland, that we're going to capture him. He's wandering around in our territory. That's a bad mistake. That's a bad mistake. So we succeed. And we hope he likes his new quarters. And now I'm going to try and go and figure out, because I haven't been paying attention, neither has Flann Sinna, how this guy is actually... He's technically our vassal. He's a vassal of Cúchar Moor, from what I can see. I hope he likes his new quarters. So yeah, in the last episode, we saw that Cheshire and Durham were now part of our territory. I remember going, oh yeah, well this guy must have sworn allegiance to Cú This guy is the guy who had our kid in prison. So Cú gained the allegiance of the guy who imprisoned our kid and didn't release him. What must be going through Flann Sinna's mind now? Is Cú in some form of a conspiracy with these people? Because Flann Sinna's mind is going in strange directions with the last couple of episodes. So yeah, we're gonna... He has a babby that'll inherit. Probably gonna execute this guy. Oh, it's not a babby. It's his brother. I thought his sister was going to inherit. She's helping us. She's assisting us, but it doesn't look like she's going to inherit. The other thing is that a tiny army. Well, I won't say it's a tiny army, but these guys have decided that they're going to march in against us. Our army here in North Riding. So, yeah, we're going to impose and let them attack. So Koning is commanding this one. Uh-oh, one of their soldiers became a berserker. And then one of our soldiers managed to wound him. That'll teach you. Get out of it. Now we will take that army. And we will march them down here. The other guys should be finished sieging. They are indeed. And we'll bring them down into the heart of West Riding, where we first met Astrid. And Dublin is under siege. Those crafty Anglo-Saxon devils. They've taken their army across the Irish Sea and they are sieging down Dublin. That's Cú territory. I'm not too sure how pushed we are about that. But I think we're gonna finish up one or two raids and then actually sail the army across, the entire army across, and hit them. Do we need to bring the entire army? We'll see. We'll see. As for what we're going to do with our prisoner, do you know what? Our son was left in prison for 10 years, so for now, let's just leave him there. The other interesting thing I saw is that East Sex, which... Oh god, we were allied with them through one of our wives. That was the wife that we grew suspicious of immediately during the assassination attempt and tried to arrest, and she fled to Liege, and then we captured her and executed her. Well, they have a substantial army that's wandering around, and of course they're hostile to us, so we might actually pay them a visit as well. We finished sieging down East Riding, so we can take that army and bring it across to Lancashire. And then maybe bring this one across the Irish Sea. Let's see how the Siege of Dublin is going. Cú doesn't seem to be doing anything to stop it. Speaking of Cú, he has been hosting our Chancellor, our son Brangan, who was part of the plot to kill us a few episodes back. The way he imposes himself on my home, all the while encouraging no less than grovelling servitude to you, disgusts me. Cú, we used to be friends. We used to be friends once upon a time. It does sadden me that my adulterous giant of a courtier is not getting on well with my giant of a son who has the giant trait that neither I... that's his mother, neither his mother nor myself had. It saddens me that my giant, adulterous courtier and my giant son, I thought they'd have so much in common. I have for quite a while been suspicious as to, I have been suspicious as to Brangan's heritage, but there's nothing, we've got no pop-ups to indicate anything otherwise, but it is a bit suspicious to me that we have a giant adulterer and a giant son. But Brangan, what have you done? He already hated us. It was already at minus 100, so we haven't made matters worse anyway. I presume Brangan is telling him, Cú, you should probably do something about that army that's attacking, and Kukarkamur is just like, don't tell me what to do. And then out of spite, he's just doing nothing. So here is some guy from Canterbury that we captured. We can get rid of him for a tenner. Sure thing. Ransom him off. And here's another guy that we captured. We can ransom... Oh, no. No. You're staying there. Possibly forever. So here is Duftuk sieging down West Riding, the former capital of Astrid's county. But, as you can see, the fort level is too damn high. So what we're going to do is we are going to... can we capture him? Not capture him, but... he's going to leave. He's going to leave. I think it was telling me that the fort level was too high. Maybe it was this guy that came in and started sieging it down as well. But we weren't making any progress by the looks of it. So... we're going to abandon that. We're going to get him across the ocean. Let's visit this church. I don't think we can do anything at a church. Let's just visit it anyway for the fun. And then we'll come down south here to deposit what we have. There's some bit of a siege going on. Flan Cinna has been hit with a feeling of emptiness inside. He is now 50 years of age, and if we know anything about previous rulers, that means he's into the last decade or decade and a half of his life. His health is still poor. We have that bad omen until 968, so for another 2 years, and he's obese until he stops being obese. Nothing I do satisfies me anymore, despite all my efforts. I can find neither happiness nor peace of mind. It is as if something was missing. What could fill this hole gnawing at my soul? I saw that I have grown bored of my clothes. For a second I feared he was going to become an Adamite, or that he was just going to become a nudist, but it's actually he just wants to buy new clothes. Our only fresh quail can heal this pain. He becomes a comfort eater. He's already eating quite a lot. He's already a comfort eater because he's obese. We will lose gold. We will lose 34 stress. Our monthly income drops by 10%, but we gain prestige per month. So I think Flan Cinna is going to decide that he wants newer and fancier clothes, and I presume he has grown tired of his clothes as well, because he hasn't changed his clothing since he became obese. So I'd say the trousers are getting a bit tight on him, so we're going to go with I have grown bored of my clothes. I don't remember before being able to siege down non-castle holdings. So we're going to siege down a couple of areas, and then we're going to actually send the army across and do something about Dublin. A word of advice. It is not the first time I have heard talk of what a great servant Cuanan is, and how High Chieftain Kukarkamur has sent him to my court. He presents himself as a token of the friendship between Kukarkamur and me. I can either say, welcome to my service, or you cannot be that good if High Chieftain Kukarkamur can so easily spare you. That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Let's take a look at this man. He's wounded. Well, that says about as much as we need to know, I think. He's an aspiring blade master, skilled tactician, but yeah, he's at 11 prowess, so he's average. We can either take him to our court or say no and lose 10 opinion. His opinion is already at minus 100, so it's not going to get any worse. Nope. Away off with you. So the English have managed to take Dublin. They're doing nothing about it. Kukarkamur is doing nothing about it. Looks like I'm the only one that's going to do anything about it. We've got a big heap of pop-ups. We had an alliance with somebody that's ended because he's dead. So let's see. Slain in battle by a member of the Carling Beaugency family. This was a family in West Francia. They were a vassal of West Francia. I don't think We ever came to their aid and they never came to ours. But they were hostile to us when we were at war with West Francia. But now the alliance has been reformed with the new ruler, so that's fine. How are you for... Ooh. I was going to say, how are you for soldiers? Not great. Your father had more soldiers than that. I was trying to figure out why they wouldn't go into the ocean, and of course, we can't raid across the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Coning's army down south into Cheshire. I will turn them off of, if I can. I'm going to have to pause for a second just to stop everything from going crazy. Cuchurcamoor's other son has now become our heir, and Melisande, our mother-in-law, who we enjoyed a naked, sweaty dinner with in the last episode, has passed away. Neither of these are great options. Moel Toli is a naive appeaser, absolutely no prowess whatsoever to speak of. His brother, who was the heir before him, again, he's an intricate web weaver, but very low prowess, and the comment section has been praying for a high prowess martial figure to succeed us. Cuchurcamoor has not given us great options. Cuchurcamoor has not given us great options for the kingship, so I think we're going to have to... We're maybe going to have to decide that Cuchurcamoor, if he won't take the high kingship himself, that nobody in his family is fit to succeed him. So we'll have to see about that. Oh my God, this is a shock. A shameful truth has reached the light of day. My son Cian has an incestuous relationship with his own sister. Cian and Orla are lovers. I think we discovered this maybe 2 episodes back. I have seen and heard many things in my day. Oh, you sure have, Flan Cinna, you sure have. But this... So the crime cannot go unpunished, or these accusations are naught but malice and lies. Yeah. We're going to lose another level of devotion. Oh, Lord almighty. These accusations are naught but malice and lies. Your sinful act comes at a cost. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I can't go any lower than I am. You can't touch me. I've gone so low that I am untouchable. My daughter Orla has been showing the signs of pregnancy for some time now, and everyone thought that her husband, Kielina, was the father of the child. Now it has become clear that the real father-to-be is none other than her brother Cian. Do you remember there a couple of seconds ago I was judging Cuchurcamoor's family? I was saying, none of these kids are fit to succeed Flan Cinna as High King. Well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be judging other families. If only it could have stayed a secret. Now everyone knows. No immediate effects. I was going to point out the fact that Orla's eldest child has the sterile trait. Oh, lads. We have 1916 troops. That's a good number if I ever heard one. The English are making a run for it. Cuchurcamoor has finally summoned a sizable army. So we spent our money going out into the ocean. And I don't know what we're going to do now. We could sail it way down here and do something absolutely crazy. What I was trying to point out there with a while is that we've decided to be absolutely mad lads and just start raiding Lothringia as well. So we've wandered in there. Bevan, I vaguely remember naming you. They grow up so fast. I've just invited somebody to court, and with the recent events surrounding our son and daughter, Flan Cinna's stress levels have gone through the roof. He's on the verge of going up to stress level 1 again and suffering a mental break. So we're going to try and get rid of some stress, and we have more than enough ways of doing so. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the money that our brave soldiers have been earning for us, risking their lives, and we're going to go on a shopping spree. Cue the shopping montage. I walked through the market in Desmond, giddy with excitement. Fabrics, jewellery, thread and trinkets. I want it all. I end up at a stall attended by an old man who is very understanding of my predicament and promises to help me choose. We're going to lose 50 quid and lose 38 stress. Not too bad. And here's Cormac, the guy who we invited to our court. Pretty good. Actually, he's a fairly good spymaster figure. We could marry him off to somebody in our family. Such as Orla. I'm not entirely too sure what Cuchurcamoor is doing. He's wandered into England, but he's left Dublin under siege, so... Okay. Quite a substantial English army has just landed beside us. Cuchurcamoor is now sieging down Warwickshire. I'm going to take this army with its 40 gold. We're going to bring it up here and see if we can actually regain some numbers to protect us from the English. Of course, I had all these great plans for what our army was going to do once it arrived off the coast of Kent, and then I remembered, wait, we can't siege things by sea. And also, I don't have them set to raiding, so we're doing nothing. We're going back to Irish soil and setting them back to raiding, and then we'll return. So more of Cuchurcamoor's land is under siege, more land that I don't really care about. With a small... I don't think they should... Oh, they are. They are actually able to take the place. I was going to say they shouldn't even be able to take that place, but they can. Our armies are up here. We've returned to North Riding to siege down some holdings that we missed the last time that I didn't even realise we could siege down. And we might very well then send them over to deal with that incident in Cheshire. I don't remember being able to siege down non-castle holdings before. Have I been leaving a ton of money on the table? I hope not. And we get a new lifestyle perk. Flan Cinna is shoving up into the last days of his life. I won't say the last days. That makes it sound like he's going to die in a couple of minutes. His health is quite poor though. So we could try and push for the Schemer achievement. Well, not the Schemer achievement, but just the Schemer trait. Or Dark Insights to start torturing the guy in prison. I don't think I really care too much about him. I think we'll just let him die in prison. Enemy hostile scheme, success chance goes down. An hour. Oh, and against our courtiers goes down. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. And then we have twice schemes, so we can have twice as many hostile schemes the next time round. Speaking of hostile schemes, let's go and fabricate a hook against this guy. Trinkead, who would be... What is he? Is he a nephew of Cuchurcamoor's? He is. We're beginning to see sizable hostile armies wandering around the place. So 2,500 soldiers. Belonging to an English duchy. We need to keep our eye on that. The other thing is that Flan Cinna is still keeping his eye on the succession. Now, we don't actually have anyone very eligible at the moment. We had been trying to support Cuchurcamoor. His family isn't looking great at the moment. Flan Cinna has been briefly considering possibly seeking to cement his dynasty and his family's control, and instead of rotating it back to Cuchurcamoor, instead keeping it within his own branch of the family. But we don't have any valid successors. Well, we do have valid successors, but nobody great just yet. We might have somebody coming up in a few years, so let's see if Flan Cinna can cling to life long enough to see somebody come of age that might make a fitting successor But for now, we must deal with a good friend drifting away from us. Times and people change. Sometimes those who are the closest to us seem to become strangers. High King Flan Cinna, my cousin, High Chieftain Kukarkamur, smile sadly. For you to murder, I feel like there is no friendship left between us. It is the way of things. But remember all the good times. Maybe he's still bitter and angry that I sent jugglers into his room while he was naked. It is the way of things. No longer our friend. Or he will reluctantly... Or he will give our relationship another chance. I thought it was reluctantly give our relationship another chance. Let's see. Let's see if we can... I mean, this is the guy that we are supporting for the High Kingship. We are trying to secure the High Kingship for him. He's really not helping us. He's really not helping us. I thought I got the game paused there in time, but I didn't. We are called into a war. What a time to be called into a war. Here is Duke Ezzo. I don't even remember how many members of our family have been married to this guy. This is, of course, the guy who attacked West Francia, dragged us in, and we gladly took part. And then, of course, sadly, we were faced with 10,000 Greek forces. He is, as of a peasant uprising. Dude, if you can't take care of a peasant uprising, I don't know what to say to you. We'll accept, obviously. And let's see. What? The defenders are 4,700. I think most of that is us. Oh, man, you are definitely not in good shape to deal with that, because I don't think any of those forces are actually his. I think that's all our army. So we might very well... Oh, man, don't tell me we have to go across and deal with this. The things we do because of our devotion to insular Christianity. And now the English have landed in Ireland again. That's something that you kind of want to stop early, because that happened before, and yeah, that's a kind of a thing that you need to nip in the bud early. I don't know how, I don't know what just happened, but finally, and I'm sure Flan Cinna has contributed massively to it, we have gained the achievement Prolific. 100 living dynasty members. There you go, 100 living members of the family. I know it's only recently... Oh god, don't tell me the game's going to crash if I try and open the family tree. It's only recently that we have managed, or that I've managed to be able to pan around on this screen, because I couldn't up until recently. But there you go. There is all of the actual... Are they all of Flan Cinna's kids? I don't even know. I don't even know at this stage. Flan Cinna has so many of them. But definitely, Flan Cinna has contributed to getting that achievement for 100 dynasty members. I had it down on my short list of achievements that I thought we could get in this playthrough, but I hadn't been thinking about it, and I wasn't even thinking about the fact that Flan Cinna was having so many kids, he might single-handedly get 100 living members of the family. But there you go. Another achievement for Flan Cinna. In a roundabout way, I am bringing both of these armies over to try to hit these small armies that are kind of skirting around the place here. We're probably going to get one over to Cheshire, or possibly bring it up to Cumberland, get it to stand down and go and deal with the English army that's just after hitting Athlone. Oh man. Now poor Flan Cinna is getting stressed. Oh god, no, they're going to siege down the brothel in Athlone. So we helped to clean up a tiny few armies there. We have gotten one army back, and what I'm actually going to do, we need to be in a friendly area to stand them down. So we're gonna have them siege down Cheshire. We're gonna bring these guys up to, I don't even know where this is, Cumberland. Stand them down and then bring them across and have them hit the army of England that is sieging down Athlone. And try and stabilize our own borders some way. Actually, we've just managed to get this place sorted. So out into the ocean with you. I accidentally read that as longhouses constructed in Italy. I was like, what the hell is Italy doing constructing longhouses? And why am I being told about it? Now, the good news is that we seem to be doing A-OK with this peasant rebellion that we are not contributing to in any way, make, shape, or form. That we know practically nothing about. So maybe we won't have to bring forces down to help poor old Duke Ezzo. I think that's his army. It's not. The 1,172. We're probably gonna have to do something about that. So let's see if maybe we can siege down Dublin. We are not making great headway in Dublin. The only handy thing is that England is losing troops just through attrition, so we might be able to bring somebody across. Do you know what? It was surprising the last time I got this pop-up. Now it's just, yeah. I'd be kind of disappointed. I'd be disappointed at this stage if somebody wasn't plotting to kill me. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill me. Comment below. Who do you think it is? I forgot to ask that the last time that this actually happened. And I know I put it up on the screen in very bad font. Who do you think is responsible this time? I know everyone was saying everyone. Nobody guessed Brangan. You all, just like me, you all guessed the wives. Nobody guessed Brangan. Who is it this time? Who is it this time? We must stop the villain behind this. Yeah. If they can't murder Flan Cinna this time round. And for now, anyway, it looks like they can't murder Flan Cinna this time round. 5% success, 20% secrecy. That sounds like a Brangan plot to me. If nothing else, that sounds like a Brangan plot. I wonder. Well, that's unexpected. Well, that's unexpected. High King Flann Sinna II of Ireland, Soul, has finally been cast to hell at 52 years of age. He died of unknown causes. Although quite famous for his sharp intellect, he could still not outsmart death. High King Moel Toli ascends to the throne. Being a man willing to wait for a plan to come together, many expect great change to come to the realm, albeit slowly. When you say a man willing to wait for a plan to come together, what do you mean by that? Who killed Flan Cinna? Game, you tell me who killed Flan Cinna or I'm going to riot. I am genuinely distraught. How did this happen? I don't know what to say. Well, there you go. Oh, we had so much left to do. We had so much left to do. Flan Cinna has died. Well, saying here he's died from complications related to obesity. Game, you frightened me. I thought you were insinuating that murder plot had gone through and killed Flan Cinna. Game, you frightened me. You frightened me. We know why Flan Cinna died. He ate too much food off of his mother-in-law when they were naked. It's grand. Okay. It's grand. Disaster averted. I won't lie. I was frightened there for a couple of minutes. Oh, this is awkward. This is very awkward because Moel Toli, I was going to say he doesn't have any land. We're going to check this out in a second. Okay, he died from complications related to obesity. It's okay. You said here it was unknown causes. He was the cultural head. He was dreaded. He was exalted among men. We were close. Well, we weren't close, but we were getting close to legendary status. Oh, if you'd given me another couple of years, god damn it! If you'd given me another couple of years, we would have gotten him up to legendary status. Level of devotion. Let's not talk about that. His lifestyle was intrigue, and I think he's like the first to finish some traits. We were close to getting some traits with him, and fought in 14 wars. So I know he's inherited some of his titles now. He's inherited the Chiefdom of Man, and he's inherited the Earldom of Desmond. I think he's inherited the High Chiefdom, but he hasn't actually inherited the Earldom itself. And he has the Earldom of Desmond, which was Flan Cinna's. Brangan has gotten the actual Earldom of Man. Cian has gotten the Inner Hebrides, and Angus has gotten Dunbar. Is that all we had to give out? I suppose it is. And here we go, another name added to the lineage. The absolutely depraved lineage of Ireland. There is poor Flann Sinna I, his son Grian Grafador, his brother Ruacán, his nephew High King Flan Cinna, and now a cousin of ours, Moel Tolí. He wasn't a great choice. He's young, but I don't think he's a great choice for the High Kingship. Let's see what we can do with him. Let's actually take a look at him. We won't continue on for too much, but we'll continue playing as High King Moel Tolí. And what I mean is I won't continue playing too much for this episode. We do have another 33 years to go. But here is a surprise elevation to the High Kingship. And we continue on. We'll pause very quickly. And we're told that Onvra doesn't support us. Oh, why did Flan Cinna have to eat all those cream cakes? Why did he have to eat all of those cream cakes? Here is the new High King. He is nothing great to write home about. He is patient. He is generous. He is honest. And he is a naive appeaser. So we get 10% extra lifestyle experience. He is worse at the diplomacy tree than Flan Cinna was at the intrigue tree. So he's 17 years of age, but he's gonna gain lifestyle experience slower than Flan Cinna did. He's married to somebody we spoke about before, Lasariana, and she is I think she's a sister to Flan Cinna, the previous ruler, and she was the daughter of Scanlon, who would be Moel Tolí's uncle. Children from this relationship are going to be God damn it, anyway, Cuchurcamur, because it undoubtedly Cuchurcamur was behind this. He was the one with a voting bloc large enough to put the High King in place. Obviously, it's my own fault for not forcing him to vote for somebody else. And again, if he had just supported himself, Cuchurcamur would now be sitting as the High King, with Flan Cinna having died early. I knew he was going to die early. I didn't expect he would die that early. Anyway, there's no point crying over dead kings. We have 2 council positions to fill, at least 2 council positions to fill. First is our marshal. There's no point. Let's go and look at the stats. Who's the best person to appoint? It would be Coning. We're going to appoint our father. The man who achieved all of this. God damn you anyway. And then for our Chancellor, I think the best is Coning. It is indeed. So we will assign Coning. We're going to have to take a look at our Spymaster. She is the best. There's Felku, who doesn't dislike us as much. So we could try to either sway her. We try and sway the bishop as well. The Archbishop and make him like us. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to start swaying some people. If we don't want this to be a particularly short rule, even though that might actually be slightly beneficial. So this is the grandson and great-grandson of former High Kings, and his father, of course, is the great Cuchurcamur. I think this is a man who would focus on majesty, +1 diplomacy, and +1 per month to prestige. I think we might start. I'm not entirely too sure what direction we're going to go. Possibly the August direction. Yes, I think benevolent intent is going to be important to us in the early stages. Now, there's no requirement for us to go down the diplomacy tree. We could have gone down some other direction, probably down the military tree or something like this. But it's our first time looking at the diplomacy tree, so it's going to be trying to get used to all this all over again. And finally, this absolute mess of a scenario. I think for now we're gonna support High Chieftain Koning. How old is he? He's 59. We might support his younger brother instead. We might support Orgus, because just in case something does happen. Well, he'll be... Yeah, we can't... Koning probably won't survive much longer, knowing how the family has been doing. So yeah, we might as well support Orgus. So this is... We're looking, if we're going to keep that rotation, that traditional rotation going, we're looking at now rotating the High Kingship following... its stay here with the Green Graffador branch of the family back to the descendants of Ruacon. I have checked, and there are not very fitting children of Orgus or Koning to inherit. So for now, we will support Orgus, but that's probably going to change. And he's currently in 6th rank. If we were to die right now, the title would go to Myrna. I don't know who else is supporting her. Is it just herself? It's just herself. Of course, our father is supporting somebody who's even older than him. Where's Kukurka gone to? Yeah, Kukurka is supporting Lachnaun, the brother of the guy who just died. But Myrna controls Oriel, Ulster, and Alloch. And she got these from her father, who we gave Oriel to, and Ulster, and then he seized the other 2 counties. It's a long, convoluted story. For now, let's just drive the English out of Ireland. That's the one thing the entire kingdom can unite behind. And immediately we get a pop-up that Lachnaun has actually become our new successor. Right, our army has landed in Leinster. We're sieging down Dublin. I think what we'll have to do, is send this army in against the English while we continue the siege of Dublin. And hopefully they should knock a chunk out of it, if nothing else. And then, worst comes to worst, we can bring that army in Dublin in to attack Athlone afterwards. I don't know what to say. I'm totally unprepared for this High King. But then again, we were totally unprepared for the last High King as well. Flan Cinna just kind of came out of nowhere and grasped power. My God, what a king he was. So the early stages of Moel Toli's rule seem to be going well. We've handed the English a substantial defeat. There's his father. There's poor Brangen. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you people. Dismiss. At the moment, it's looking like Savoy should be able to deal with that peasant rebellion. They have 1,500 troops against 1,100. So what we might do is, I think, bring this war to an end. Or not bring this war to an end, but to stand down the army that's in Athlone. I don't think England is going to bring any more forces against us. So I think we'll stand down this army. We will finish the siege of Dublin. And then We will see what our options are from there. We're no longer hostile to the English. War has been declared on us. To the loathsome High King Muel Toli, may wisdom ever elude you. I have long coveted your lands, only to be denied possession of them. No more. The time has come for me to finally get what I deserve. I know who this man is. It is the King of Norway. Ha ha! We laugh at his army. Look at that pathetic army. How does this man think that he is going to be able... Oh, dear God. So this, of course, is... I'm going to treat him as a vassal of the King of Sweden, because he's little more than a vassal of the King of Sweden. And we're looking at the moment, with the body of the High King Flan Cinna, cold in the ground for little more than a few weeks. The first massive Viking incursion into Irish land, because of course it's an attack on Dunbar. The first Viking attack on our lands in decades. Rally the troops. And there it is, the pop-up that we feared. The Metal King of Sweden has joined the war for Dunbar. I'm not too sure why the guys in Dublin have stopped beating their shields. Possibly because we've been called into a war. Possibly because we're now at war and they can't continue sieging down the area. I'm not actually too sure why that has just ended. We were on the verge of taking it. Let's very briefly look at the scenario. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call in my allies and we're going to see how much we can change that by. Let's call in our allies, he says. What allies? We don't have any allies. We have no alliances through marriage. We have no children. We can't marry any of our sisters off to anyone of any great importance. Actually, we can't marry them off to anyone outside the kingdom. I have attempted to secure marriages for Muel Toli. I think the largest will bring 1,500 troops. And then about 500 from the next two. So, if all goes well, we might be able to put together about 5,000 troops. Cúchar Moore has succeeded in putting a member of his family on the throne, but it has not been a stable succession. If he had taken the High Kingship himself, or supported himself for the High Kingship, we would be in a much better position, especially with the large Swedish army on our borders ready to strike, and this is something that they have been waiting for decades. Flan Cinna, drunken, obese lecher that he was. He held the kingdom together. He proved to be a ruthless and efficient figure in holding on to power, and holding on to the purse strings that allowed him to spend money on fancy clothes and fancy women. Muel Toli, on the other hand, while it is dictated by tradition that the High Kingship should indeed rotate back to his branch of the family, he most certainly was not the optimal character. And Cúchar Moore saw through his son's election, and now we are in a position where we are fighting a Norse army twice our size. We're going to have to see what we can do in the next episode. Thank you all very much for joining me on this one. Check out the links below in the description for my Twitter account and for my Twitch account. I'm hoping that it won't come to it, but it might happen in the next while, that I might be able to put these episodes out every second day, and if that does happen, I will post an update on my Twitter account, so do check that out. And also check out on Twitch. I'll be returning to there shortly. We were doing a live stream of Baldur's Gate over the last while, where Twitch chat ruined my game for me. So if you want to come along and help Twitch chat to ruin my game by using Twitch integration, do join me there. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, and I will talk to you all on the next one.